Welcome to Bloomington Today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kaylin Cockrell. The positive effects that recycling has on both the community and our environment seems to be growing. However, the number of people actually using the recycling systems is shrinking. Hennepin County has been closely monitoring this decline and wants your help to do something about it.
What we found from our recent research is that we're recycling just over half of what we could be recycling. So about 45% of recyclables are ending up in the trash instead of being recycled.
It can't get much easier. Drive in the large garage doors, open your trunk, and crew members are at your vehicle's side within seconds, removing whatever product you want recycled. This is how the South Hennepin County Recycling Center in Bloomington runs shop, trying to do whatever they can to make your recycling experience quick and easy, while hopefully encouraging you to come back and keep recycling. Much of what they see come through the doors are items many may not even know belong in the recycling center rather than the landfill.
They bring in their electronics, a lot of household items, paints, cleaners, anything from home remodeling kinds of things. We also get a lot of fluorescent lights, mercury items, appliances, sort of anything they have that they want to get rid of but you can't throw away in your regular trash.
With recycling down, Hennepin County has been forced to take a hard look at the current programs in place and with resident input, hopefully begin expanding what items they accept.
Well, one area we're really looking at is organics recycling, and that's taking food scraps and non-recyclable papers and collecting them like regular recycling. You would get a container, you would bag up that waste, and then it's taken to a commercial composting facility where it's turned into compost. And we're really looking at that because through waste sorts and information we have, we know that about 25 to 30% of our waste is organic material.
Timmons says the Bloomington Recycling Center is also one of the first drop-off facilities offering a very recent addition, electronic media recycling.
We've expanded our electronics recycling program so that folks can also bring in VHS tapes, CDs, audio, cassette tapes, any kind of media you have, old computer disks, things like that, and we'll now accept those for recycling.
Hennepin County is holding recycling forums in the coming weeks in an effort to find out from residents how they can improve programs and ultimately get residents more involved in recycling. There are 2 more recycling forums yet to be held, one on February 24th at the Civic Plaza right here in Bloomington from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. The next meeting will take place in Crystal on March 8th. For details on the forums, visit the city's website at www.ci.bloomington.mn.us and keyword search forums. As we mentioned in the earlier story, the South Hennepin Recycling Center doesn't just collect recyclable goods, but also hazardous material. The city of Bloomington wants to be sure residents are informed what exactly is considered hazardous waste and when and where those materials can be dropped off. Oil, antifreeze, paint, and solvents are just a few of the non-disposable waste items accepted at the South Hennepin Recycling and Problem Waste Drop-Off Center that's located at 1400 West 96th Street in Bloomington. We encourage anyone with questions to visit the city's website to find out all information about the center, including a map of where it's located, hours, holiday schedules, and more. And in the coming weeks, Bloomington Today will feature other ways to get your basement or garage cleaned out as we approach the annual curbside cleanup. Well, this year marks the 30th anniversary for one of the city's theater and art center's popular organizations. Take a look. Thousands of children have experienced the power of music by becoming a part of the Angelica Cantante youth choirs. And on February 27th, for the first time ever, all 4 separate choirs within the group are coming together for a show you won't want to miss.
We're going to be doing songs that some of our choirs are working on now for the first time, but some of our alumni sang maybe 20, 30 years ago. And the other thing is that it's a fundraiser. We don't typically charge for our concerts that we have each year, but we want to try to help supplement tuition dollars for needy families who want a singing experience for their child and may not be able to afford the tuition. So it's a great way for us to get together, have a party, sing our favorite songs, and raise some money for the organization as well.
Choir members are busy practicing for this monumentous concert. This month's concert will feature popular songs performed by the choir at any point throughout their history, and special guests will include alumni choir members, many of whom will be coming back and singing songs they performed years ago.
We believe that kids sing better when they are friends with one another. We try to teach them to be good citizens, and the repertoire that we select, we hope embodies a positive and optimistic outlook on life, as well as being good quality choral literature and developing voices.
30 years later, this youth choir is flourishing, but beyond vocal training, getting a child involved in Angelica Cantante has several benefits. Just ask one of its young members.
It's really fun because we do a lot of challenging music, and so I feel that we're like growing kind of in our music knowledge and stuff, and it's also just really fun because our directors are super nice. I love all of the directors, and it's just fun to get together with your friends and sing. I really love singing.
And one unique benefit Michaela describes is teamwork.
Especially as we get older, it's really important for us to kind of blend our voices together, which, kind of enforces the whole teamwork thing. Like, it's not just one person singing a solo or two people singing a duet. It's a whole choir of like 30 kids, and we have to all work together. And I mean, that really improves our skills and all of the kinds of stuff that we do where teamwork's important.
Again, the concert will be held on Sunday, February 27 at the Schneider Theater at the Civic Plaza. Tickets for this concert fundraiser are $25 apiece. To purchase tickets, go to the city's website. Click on the Art and Culture tab under the Parks and Leisure, and you'll find a link to Angelica Cantante's information. And the City of Bloomington's Human Rights Commission recently partnered with Normandale Community College to celebrate Black History Month. Dozens of people gathered at Normandale Community College to hear the words of cultural motivational speaker Omekongo Dibinga as he recognizes Black History Month.
Do me a favor, repeat after me. Today I give myself permission to no longer be a volunteer victim. I will live life by my own rules and no longer listen to liars, haters, and fools. I will take control of my own destiny and let no one get the best of me. For if it is meant to be, it is up to me. Give yourselves a round of applause. Now, on behalf of the Office of the Mayor, on behalf of the City of Bloomington, on behalf of Normandale Community College, I thank you all for allowing me the opportunity and the honor to share some words as it relates to remembering our history and talking about civil rights.
Prior to the presentation at Normandale Community College, Mayor Gene Winstead, along with Human Rights Commissioners, took to the streets, marching for remembrance. The Human Services Division supports a variety of community events. If you'd like to be notified of these other events, go to the city's website and sign up for eSubscribe to have all updates sent right to your cell phone or email. Omekongo also made a stop at the Civic Plaza while in Bloomington to speak with a group of young people who gathered together for the 2011 Youth Leadership Retreat. Kids were gathered at tables where they talked about what discrimination is to them, how they may have personally experienced it, and how they could put a stop to it.
One question that I need you all to answer me right now is what prevents us right here, right in Bloomington, right in our schools, what really prevents us from being an upstander? What really is it fear? Is it feeling people are going to be beat up, disrespected as well? If we know these things are going on, let's have an honest discussion about what prevents us from being real upstanders.
The young people talked openly about some of the things that prevent them from being leaders in the community and brainstormed together with the help of Ome Congo ways that they can rise above discrimination through education and emerge feeling empowered to not only make a change in their own lives, but in the community as well. Well, now it's time for a short break, but be sure to stay with us. When we come back, we're joined by city partner Neely Crane-Smith to find out some helpful energy-saving tips for your home.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair.
Kath, have you heard from Patty and Richard yet?
Yes. Patty was going to stop and pick up a pie, and Richard was going to file for Medicare.
Filing for Medicare? We won't eat till midnight tomorrow.
Richard's filing for Medicare online at socialsecurity.gov. It takes less than 10 minutes.
10 minutes? But I had to go to the office and wait.
Online.
What about the paperwork?
Online.
But Richard's still working.
Online. Hey.
You made it.
No problemo, Papo. I got the pie.
And I got my Medicare.
And I've got the turkey.
Did you get that online too?
Welcome back to Bloomington Today. We are now joined by Center for Energy and Environment Community Energy Coordinator, Neely Crane-Smith. Neely, how are you doing?
Great today, thanks.
Great, thanks for being here. Now, your organization is partnered with the City of Bloomington. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about that partnership?
Well, the Center for Energy and Environment, which is the nonprofit I work for, works helping reduce energy use in all types of buildings across the state of Minnesota. So we definitely work with a lot of cities. One program we're offering here in Bloomington that we're working with the city on is called the Home Energy Squad. And that's a program that helps Bloomington residents reduce energy waste in their homes and start saving on their utility bills.
Great. Alrighty. Well, you know, there are lots of ways that people can sometimes overlook that they can help reduce their energy use. And we have lots of goodies on the table today, so I think that the best way would just be to kind of chat about what you've brought here. So tell us a little bit about ways that, you know, a digital thermostat, something as simple as that.
Oh yeah, great. Well, my favorite ways to reduce energy waste are the things that are really out of sight, out of mind, you know, because there are ways to save energy in your home that you don't have to think about all the time. And one of my favorite is using a programmable thermostat. Now, the trick with the programmable thermostat is to actually program the thermostat, because just installing it doesn't save energy. But the great thing about these is they can help you stop heating your house when there's no one in it, because you don't get to take advantage of that energy. So with one simple setting, which I like to call 8 for 8, so you set back by 8 degrees for 8 hours when there's no one in the house or when you're asleep, you can knock over $100 off your utility bill each year.
Wow. Now, when people are switching from their traditional thermostat to this digital thermostat, there is something to remember. You can't just throw those away, right?
Right. If you have some older thermostats do contain mercury, which should be recycled with household hazardous waste.
Okay, great. All right, what else do we got here?
Oh, so many things. Well, probably the easiest, quickest way to reduce on electricity use is to use compact fluorescent light bulbs, or CFLs, which are, you know, they've come a really long way in the past couple years that they've been on the market. They're very, very quick and easy, and actually I have a great tool here that'll show us just how much energy you can save when you use compact fluorescents. Okay. So this is a light meter. It's just a basic electricity meter like you might see on the side of your house. And what this shows us with the spinning disc in front is just how much energy is being used to power lights. Now, have you ever touched an incandescent when it's been on before?
You know, I don't think so, but...
Probably stay away because they get really hot, right? Well, heat is a sign of energy waste. So things that get really, really hot and it's not their purpose in life to be hot, so like your VCR or cell phone charger or a light bulb, means they waste a lot of energy. I don't know about you, but I played with easy bake ovens when I was a little girl. They use incandescent light bulbs to cook food, You can cook food with them. So you can
That
see.
means they get hot.
Yes, exactly. They get really hot. And that means they use a lot of energy. Okay. So you can see that spinning disc. That shows just how much energy is being used by this incandescent to produce light. And now on the left-hand side is a compact fluorescent. Produces the same amount of light, the same color as light, but as you can see,
barely moving.
Snail's pace, exactly. Compact fluorescents use 75% less electricity and last 7 to 10 times longer. So per bulb, you can save over $40 over its lifetime.
Wow.
Right.
What is keeping people from utilizing these? I mean, is there any difference in the quality of light or the amount of light? Or
no, and I think part of it is just when they first came out, they were that spiral bulb and they look kind of weird. What's great is they've made a lot more of these bulbs. So I also brought, now this, like I said, is an A-line bulb. This is my favorite because it's the same size and shape as an incandescent. You can clip lamps on top to it. But you can also find compact fluorescents in indoor and outdoor floodlight, in bathroom globe, dimmable, three-way, candelabra base. I mean, I make them in all shapes and sizes.
So both indoor and outdoor use?
Yes, yes. If you're buying one for outdoor use, I would recommend getting a special cold weather since Minnesota winters tend to tax these a little bit.
I can see that. I definitely believe that. Well, let's talk a little bit more. What is the power strip here for?
Right, the power strip is here for what is actually a big issue in Minnesota homes. Now, the average Minnesota home has between 30 to 40 electronics plugged in at all times. Wow. And if they're plugged in, they're using electricity. So that's anything with a clock, anything with a remote, anything that has a little red LED light that tells you it's ready to come on. Like if you have one room in your house where you turn off all the lights and then suddenly there are like 80 red eyes staring at you, that's what's called phantom load. And that constant sort of drain of electricity from all these electronics can add up to a lot of money. In fact, if you just look at video game consoles, it's like PlayStations, Wii's, Xboxes, those left plugged in cost our country over $1 billion a year in wasted electricity. So the good news is, phantom load, super easy to stop, power strips. Because when you can either unplug something from the wall, or if you plug it into a power strip and then you turn the power strip off, you've got the phantom load.
Wow. So, I mean, these are things like toasters or microwaves or...
Microwaves, cell phone chargers, VCRs, TVs, electric toothbrushes, laptops. Chargers, even if there's nothing charging, like your laptop or your cell phone charger.
Or if it's not necessarily turned on, like the toothbrush.
Exactly. If it's plugged in, it's always using energy. Now, what's good to know about phantom load is that doesn't mean you have to unplug everything. Some things are meant to be plugged in all the time. But if you focus on the big phantoms in your house, and that's your TV and your computer, use a lot of phantom load. So focus on getting those into power strips and then turning them off.
Wonderful. Okay.
My other tip would just be to put the power strip where you can reach it. If you have to dislocate your shoulder every time you shimmy behind the TV, you're probably going to stop using it.
It's true. It's very true. All right, and then finally we have one other piece to talk about.
Yes, last but not least. Now, a big issue every Minnesota winter is air leaks. I can't tell you how many calls I get from people who are like, my house is just too uncomfortable. Well, odds are if you're uncomfortable, you're paying too much for energy. And a big cause of that can be air leaks. So stopping air leaks into your home is a big comfort issue, but it also helps you save money. One really simple way to do that, I love this, is using these gasket seals. Now, little known fact, but the outlets and the switch plates in your home are usually not insulated. So it's a really easy way for that cold air to get right into your house. So what we recommend are using these custom cut pieces of foam insulation. You can get them at the hardware store for like $3. And they go right into your outlets and your switch plates and help reduce air leaks.
That's a great tip. I mean, if you think about it, how many light switches or outlet plates are in your house?
Exactly.
Dozens. So wonderful.
And if you're sitting there, if it's next to where you watch TV or eat dinner with your family or read or your computer, it's going to make you uncomfortable.
Gosh. Okay. And then finally?
Parents will recognize these child safety caps, but it's the same thing. If you have open outlets, air can escape in there, so you just plug them up.
That was the first thing that I said was they're not just for kids.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Well, great. Those are some great tips. Tell me a little bit about the overall savings that people can utilize. You know, if they're using this much energy, what can utilizing some of these things do for not only their bills, but the environment?
Exactly. Well, if you look at adding up the savings from simple things like saying, putting in 5 compact fluorescent light bulbs, using a programmable thermostat, maybe putting in a high-efficiency shower head and using a power strip, simple actions can up to hundreds of dollars. And the environmental impact is that you can help Minnesotans reduce their carbon footprints. Here in Minnesota, about half of the carbon emissions in our state come directly from residents, from our houses and from our cars. Okay. So when we use less energy, we save money, and then we just help reduce greenhouse gas pollution in the state.
Wonderful. Well, great. Well, now today we've learned some tips to, be more energy efficient in your home. Tell us a little bit about some common misconceptions that our residents, might not be steering clear on.
Right. It's very common that people come to me and expect that they're going to have to be miserable to save energy. I think we all sometimes get President Carter in our heads, put on a sweater and turn down the thermostat, and that's conservation, and that's fine. But the great thing about efficiency is you don't have to be uncomfortable. You don't have to give up your lifestyle. You just use a few good products and a few good habits. When it comes to misconceptions about some of the items I have on the table here, I do hear a lot of misconceptions about compact fluorescents. One is that they have to be put in every light socket in your house. Well, no, they don't. Actually, you should use compact fluorescents in high-use areas, so places like kitchens, dining rooms, living rooms, places like that. Okay. Also, it's good to know that compact fluorescents do need to be recycled, shouldn't be tossed in the trash, but you can recycle them for free at most big box stores and local hardware stores as well.
Oh. Wow, that's a great tip. Okay. Well, what the city of Bloomington and your company, I'm sure, kind of has a main mission when it comes to getting your home more energy efficient. What would that be?
When it comes to the number one top action we recommend that all Minnesota homeowners do, and it's a little technical, but bear with me, it's sealing attic bypasses. Oh. So a big problem this winter in Minnesota with all the snow has been ice dams. I mean, they're all over the place, people talking about damage happening to their roofs or their attics. The only way to stop ice dams is to reduce any hot air getting from a heated home into your unheated attic. And that usually happens around chimneys or recessed lighting, about electrical boxes, anything that comes from your heated house into an unheated attic. So if you're DIY type for under $100, or if you work with a contractor, usually around $400 to $600, seal those bypasses. It'll prevent you from getting ice dams in the future, and it'll help you stay comfortable by keeping that heated air in your house where you get to enjoy it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here with us today and sharing these tips for us. And now it's time for a short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
So, what's the big deal about moving firewood?
Sometimes we move things we don't want, like emerald ash borer. The beetle larvae hatch from eggs and chew through bark. They feed on the wood and cut off the tree's nutrients. They live under the bark in winter, and when they come out in the spring as winged beetles, they can fly off and eat other ash trees. Emerald ash borer might seem like a small bug, but it's a big deal to Minnesota. Don't spread emerald ash borer. Burn firewood where you buy it.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, Bloomington United for Youth, also known as BUY, recently held its second annual volunteer recognition event, honoring youth, adults, and community groups that have made a positive impact on the community through volunteerism. There are 4 categories of the award recipients: individual youth, youth organization, individual adult, and community groups. All individuals and organizations should be on a volunteer basis and benefit the Bloomington youth in some way to qualify for a nomination. We were at the 2011 awards ceremony, and we've got those winners for you. The individual youth recognition winner is Bakhtar Chaudhry. A senior at Kennedy High School, her dedication to her own education in conjunction with her extensive volunteering and position as youth commissioner on the Bloomington Human Rights Commission, Bakhtar is a deserving winner. The winner for the youth organization category is Think Pink Kids Clubs of Jefferson, Kennedy, Olson, and Normandale Hills schools. The group encourages students to get engaged in the concept of community service for a cause and has so far helped fund numerous cancer research projects. Great job to you folks. Next, the individual adult category is Fred Lips. Fred began volunteering as a deck timer at Jefferson High School swim meets 20 years ago, and he's still at it. He not only financially gives support to the school, but more importantly, donates his time volunteering with boys and girls swimming, marching band, and school choir. Finally, in the category of community group recognition, Oasis for Youth was awarded. This organization offers a place to stay for homeless and precariously placed youth. It's staffed by volunteers and includes crisis intervention as well as on-site activities. Bloomington Today would like to extend a big congratulations to all award winners and nominees alike. If you'd like to get involved or for more information on Bloomington United for Youth, visit their website at www.bloomingtonyouth.org. And as we've said before on Bloomington Today, when you live in Minnesota, winter is a particularly long season, and it's important to find a winter pastime that keeps you active throughout the winter months. Two of Bloomington's police commanders have done just that. Commanders Herman and Stellick both recently participated in the Minneapolis City of Lakes Lopit, specifically the Ice Cycle Lopit. Heats of 18 to 15 riders circle a track, and the top rider from each heat will go on to the next round. Congrats to both Commander Herman, who placed first in the heat, and Commander Stellick, who took third. Awesome job, guys. Well, that's it for today's episode of Bloomington Today. For more information on city projects, parks, road construction, and events, visit the city's website. That and so much more is online right now at www.ci.bloomington.mn.us. We'll do you even one better. Sign up for eSubscribe to have updates sent to your email or cell phone. This is Bloomington Today, a presentation of the City of Bloomington's Communication Division. I'm Kaylin Cockriel.